Hi everyone, welcome back to Capitol Report. I'm Charlene Briner and we're talking with Representative Brita Saylor. Thanks again for dropping by, Representative.
It's good to be back.
Let's talk a little bit about, I'm always curious because the life of a legislator is nothing if not diverse. Even
Very
over the
diverse.
course of an hour or a half an hour.
Exactly.
You get a lot of visits. Who's been dropping by to see you this week?
Well, we've had the administrator, nursing home administrator, Heritage Living, because it's much more than a nursing home as we think of technically. The administrator, Kurt Hansen, came down, and I forget. The days do get compacted. And was it yesterday or the day before? But I know it was this week, and we had a good opportunity to visit and just touch base, which I always appreciate the effort that it takes, and for people to come down and visit with us. Also, we had a nice group of representing St. Joseph's Hospital Auxiliary, and these women are very good about coming. There's a core group that come down every year, and they always are so helpful. I appreciate seeing them come. So they were here as well. So we had some health issues to discuss this week.
And I'm sure a lot of questions too about what's going to be happening in the state with healthcare, how federal healthcare is impacting us,
right,
which we have talked about before.
Exactly.
I want to spend a couple of minutes, Representative Saylor. We have talked a lot, or we've heard a lot in the news about the census. This is a census year. Census day was April 1st, but the whole process isn't over yet.
No,
is that correct?
By no means. In fact, it was interesting that as of April 3rd, and I think this data has probably changed, but as of April 3rd, the number of people returning their census forms was 52% nationally. So we have a ways to go. Mm-hmm. And in Hubbard County, I believe it was 43%. And Becker County, I think, was 51%, Beltrami County, 51%. So we have a ways to go with that. And the reason that it is so important for people to return their census forms is that is going to determine how many Congress people that we have. But it's not only that. It's also, when we consider the size of districts, again, it's not always a rural metro thing, but there's an element of that here. And we struggle in rural parts of Minnesota and throughout the whole country on having representation and for people to be able to actually know and visit with their congressperson. Because if you have a district that's maybe only 50 miles, which some do, compared to hundreds of miles, obviously there's going to be a difference in how the people are able to relate. And the other thing I just want to bring up to people is that no matter what you think of government, and I know there are always people, that we hear a lot about various factions from time to time, but no matter what your opinion is of government, love it, hate it, don't even know it exists, the census is important well outside of that, because beyond having representation in Congress, it's used for many other things as well. It's used for, census information for attracting new businesses. Businesses want to look at that information and find out what the demographics are in that area, and they want to know whether they should be, thinking about expanding their businesses or not.
Whether they'll have employees or not.
Exactly. It's also used for forecasting future housing needs, school needs. What's the population in a district? It's used for much more than election purposes by far. And so I encourage people to be sure to send in those forms, or if a census worker comes to your door, we're sort of at that point right now. I understand that there are people working throughout the counties that will be coming to the doors of folks that haven't had an opportunity to return their forms yet. So I certainly encourage people to do that.
And that process of going door to door, and even though Census Day has passed, it's not too late to fill in a form, and it's not too late to make sure that you are counted. Is that correct?
That's right. Yep, it is not too late at all. I'm not sure what the cutoff date is, but don't wait till the end. It's not like taxes, like April 15th. Don't wait till the end. Just send them right in, because it really is crucial. And we're at a point in Minnesota of being so as close as 20 people in a district. It's a very small amount. So many times we think, it doesn't matter, we're looking at these huge federal numbers. My voice doesn't count. It counts big time for this. And it can have long-ranging ramifications. So I'm hoping that folks will kind of decide that this is something that they need to do, because it's really important for all of us.
Representative, that's a good reminder, good information for all of us. And as always, we run out of time too quickly on
That is the
Capital
case.
Report. In the next couple of weeks, you're going to be learning some more about federal health care reform. You're going to be
Right.
learning about what's coming to Minnesota. You're going to be tackling the budget. So I'm going to ask you to come back in a couple of weeks, and we will get an update from you at that time.
I'll be happy to do that.
Thanks so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. And thank you so much for watching Capital Report. I'm Charlene Briner with Representative Brita Saylor. We'll see you next time.